Sprite Tri-Brigade takes down this national championship. Make sure you smash the crap out of that subscribe button so you guys don't miss out on more awesome content. This top 16 breakdown is actually insane to me for how much. This is literally a clown car, as I'm going to call it, because the sheer amount of what is present here in this. I think this was by far the coolest national championship that we have had to actually get the chance to look at. So, your highest represented decks are actually none other than Spright and Tenpai Dragons. Now, what business does, Spright have actually being up here? Well, enough that they managed to actually win this event. Now, the one-of category. You had one Snake Eyes, you had one Voiceless Voice. I also want to point out that as of recently, Voiceless Voice's success has just kind of plummeted off of a building. Like, it is not anywhere near what it once was. We also had a singular Runic deck in the top cut. I'm not surprised about that. The deck's grind game is still nasty. Melodious, standard build-a-board, full bounce ability. We also had Chimera. We also had Purely making a very surprising appearance here. Purely, I have thought, has been in a pretty bad position out here. I did say, a good player can overcome a lot of the weaknesses of the deck, and I do stand by that. All right. We also have Rika. So the plant good stuff pile back at it again. Dragon Link has found itself success. There was a GOTY list, and I wish that the GOTY list was public so we could actually talk about it, but unfortunately, it did not make it. We do have one Kashtira, one Labyrinth, and another Salamangreat deck. I'm telling you, Solid is just... its return back to the course of the meta is actually just a crazy hero's tale to me. Now, your top 8 here. You had, wow, both Sprite decks made it into top 8. Is this real life? Like, is Sprite supposed to be this good? Like, should this deck actually be causing this much damage? Because that's kind of insane to think about. We also had one Tenpai. Wow, Tenpai actually lost its friend along the way. We also had one Runic, so the anti-meta deck did find itself in a pretty good seat here. We also had one Melodious. Okay, so considering how much Rogue is here, I think Melodious had a good time, chomping that up. We also had the Chimera good stuff. The Purely build managed to find its way into top 8. Also, I don't have that list. And of course, the Rika good stuff also had the chance to do its thing and make top 8. Wow. What an amazing breakdown. Let's pass on over to deck list. Our first list here is going to be the Sprite Tri-Brigade pile that actually ended up winning this event. Now, first thing I'm going to tell you, so many people have forgotten how this package works with the Sprite stuff, but it basically makes sure that, since our dear friend Bear Broom is in fact the link to this, helps you get to setting up the defensive play, because you actually get the search for the revolt, and then you have the defensive lined up through the opponent's turn. That is huge, all right? And especially considering how much Rogue that was present in this event, a lot of builds actually have a problem with this. Also, let's not forget the fact, you had full Sprite combo down the old wazoo out here, and, they're not even really doing too much crazy with this, It's all just the basic level 2 setup. Make the gigantic stuff. Use the mosquito as an inconvenience measure along the way. Yeah, I don't see anything else outside of, those things I've just mentioned that really make this deck out to be some sort of bad monster. Next up here, we have Tenpai Dragons. We are doing the one Magna Hut in the main. I think this has been a pretty normal occurrence as of late for this deck. We are doing 2 Bells with frickin' triple Mourner. Alright, we're feeling saucy today. We do have 2 Ogres in here as well. They were extremely hand-trapped out of their mind. This main deck is so standard, like, it actually... Why is Ambler Whale down here? I guess they chose to play such a huge Link 4 package. Like, obviously things like the Pyro Phoenix back in the day were a little bit better of options in my opinion, but I guess being able to have the Ambler Whale as a setup for the Promethean to float on into and, you know, trigger and keep the bodies, you know, rolling out, it's actually pretty good. Also, shout out to the one Chimera Drago. I'm never playing this deck again without the Drago. It's so good. Our Melodious list. You know, the more I look at these Melodious lists, the more you really don't have a lot of room to adjust card ratios in this deck, which is actually kind of sad because the way that Melodious fundamentally plays, your card ratios are all just your setup. I mean, you have the 3/3 on the scales. You do play the one copy of the Shapina. You are choosing to play the triple pot of Prosperities, which is fine. I mean, you have a lot of cool optional stuff down here that you can go ahead and sift out. They're actually playing the Gravity Controller in here as well. That's very cute. 2/2/3, that's fine. And we are siding the Tam Tam. Honestly, I do like the Tam Tam. I also miss having the Poly in this deck, to be honest with you, for the searchable reasons. But cutting back to the one Concerto, like, I guess you do have the monster that can Poly for you, but you're losing a lot of that free chicken nugget advantage. Oh, so this is Melodious Chimera. You know, considering the fact that you could be buried in this deck, you just giga extra lose. But jokes aside, I do think having the Oceanato package in here to help turbo to the Appaloosa so that, you know, you can set that big negate up on the field is still one of the primary reasons why you choose to do this. Because having that large boss monster in the way to force the opponent into bad decisions is really good. And I also will tell you out here as well, this Archfiend Harris has been such a huge addition to this deck. Also, you know, getting access to the Tam Tam for some free burn damage is pretty good. And of course, full patchwork combo. The one Master Tau, this card is actually really annoying. Also, only 2 copies of the Apprentice, but we are siding the 3rd. So I think that's all fine and dandy. You've already got the built-in polys anyway for Tam Tam. All right. Ooh, we have our plant good stuff for you here. So it's just what the one beetle, the triple seed, and the one spell card. Okay, so that's your Ragnarika good stuff. The Aromage package feels a little bit more expanded here than I feel like I'm really used to with the 2 Laurel and the 2 Rosalina. A lot of builds were trying one of these, but I guess to be fair, when you're getting into the plant toolbox stuff, you've really just got to decide which option trees you want to go down on the path that's going to be most consistent for you. You have so many. That's honestly why I like the plant deck, is obviously, you know, you're still trying to get to the same, you know, boards as you rotate through, but the things that you can do with the card amounts that you're choosing to play for those choices actually vary so dramatically. It's really cool to see, you know, how this deck has evolved. Also, Triple Jasmine is still freaking hilarious to me. All right, what else we got back here? This is Modern Era. 59 cards, by the way, for Dragon Link. I guess I just appreciate the fact, you know, they just said, screw it, we don't need the extra card in here. You know, while it would be kind of cool to have it, we don't need it, all right? See, we are doing the Meteor Dragon in here. Okay, drop off the stupid brick, get the free little body, have the built-in Gamma into the main deck. That's all fine and dandy. I don't see anything out of left field with that. The buy-steal numbers are fine, even though, you know, the insane amount of Baldrakes is really good. But to be fair, I guess these are free, so can't really knock on that too much. 2 Heavenly Spheres, that's also kind of interesting, but I guess you need to have more defensive options to kind of help you along the way, just so you can do your thing. Outside of that, we have Dark Rulers evenly, so you have the Time Breaker here. Yeah, this is all pretty standard. And our last list here is more Salamangreat. I love the Weasel. I also see, hey, we are doing the EMP Meow Mine. We are doing the Code of the Soul here as well. We are actually side decking the Neo Tempest Terahertz here as well. Okay, this is not something that I have seen any solid builds doing. Also, you know, the Pyro Phoenix, the 2 of, to the Raging Phoenix. This is kind of funny. So many builds have gutted this out. And I do think that it is incredibly cute to have, but I guess people look at the Link 4 stuff and like, I don't really need it. Also, there's the one Rage on the side deck. You know, so many builds are just cutting this. It's kind of nuts. So what do you guys think about the breakdown for this event? Please leave a comment down below. Tell me what you guys think. I'll see your beautiful faces back here later today, guys. patrons. Thank you.
Thank you so much for watching. Check out these other videos.